Happy Friday. Welcome back to the next episode of Rambling with the Red Devils podcast. I'm your host today, Julian James. Tune in each week as we interview coaches and players and fill you in on some of the happenings of Red Devil athletics.
This is Tripp Engle with your Red Devil recap this week. Lawrence County Baseball sweeps West Point to win the area series. Lawrence County Softball defeats Ardmore in area play. They also picked up wins this week against West Morgan and rival Hatton. Lawrence County Junior Baseball player Cade Norwood wins Moulton Advertiser Player of the Week. Lawrence County soccer teams travel to Brewer this week for an area matchup. Track and field looks to get back into action Monday at the Russell Classic. They were unable to compete in last week's meet at Arab due to weather conditions. Braylon Damon's Keepers were selected to the Moulton Advertiser First Team All-Counties basketball team, and Jackson Smith was selected to the second team. And here's Julian with our guest today.
Our guest today is LC junior track athlete Will Posey. What is it like to be an athlete for Lawrence County Red Devils?
It's certainly neat compared to 5A schools with us having a concrete track to practice on. So, that's pretty painful compared to other schools. I've trained at Austin, a little bit at Decatur, and they have an actual track that you can practice on with spikes. And unfortunately, we can't really do that, but I'm more than fine with running with flats. It builds up our legs a little better. So.
Which do you like better, like the concrete track field or?
Oh, the turf track all the way, because I don't have to worry about just eating it after going over a hurdle and my teeth are just getting dented in.
And then you run the 200-meter, 300-meter hurdle, and the 110-meter hurdle. What's your favorite event to run?
300, because that's what I'm trying to get for the school record from Jonathan Kimbrough. I'm about 2 seconds behind. I think I'll be able to take it this season.
Do you think you're going to take it?
Oh, I know I'm going to take it.
Who do you think is faster, you or Jordan Taylor?
Me all the way.
Jordan says you can outrun him, but you can't outlift him. How do you feel about that?
Tell Jordan to start throwing and stop running.
Start throwing. What do you mean by that?
He needs to, probably put in the shot put since he can outlift, because running ain't really gonna help him out here.
Okay. So when is your next meet?
It's gonna be at the Russell Classic next Monday during spring break.
Going back to when you say you're trying to break the record for the 200-meter, what is the record?
It's about 42 seconds and 25 milliseconds set by Jonathan Kimbrough. Don't remember the year. Jonathan is a really good athlete. From what I saw, he had a little thing wrote about him. He did some jumping events. He did javelin and hurdles. So he was a really good athlete. So it would be nice to get a record from that guy.
What's some of the times you want to get next week?
I want to take at least about 1.5 seconds off each event. For my events like that, milliseconds, seconds itself are a really big deal compared to the mile, 2 mile, to where if you're not getting over 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it really doesn't matter. But every little second matters for my events.
See, getting that last second, it doesn't seem that hard, from a track point of view.
Oh,
how hard
yeah.
Is it?
You could be going full speed, and you could get the same time or even a worse time compared to your events. From me running probably both sides, it's for track, mile, 2 mile, and cross country events. You just really have to be there at practice and run. Try to just get a little PR from what you usually do in practice, which I know that doesn't matter because it's practice. But if you're not going up tempo at practice for long distance events, it's not really going to show for your mile, 2 mile, and sprinting. You just need to work on your block starts, leaning into your curves for your turns. Just doing a lot of weightlifting for it too, which I never saw that because cross country we never really touch weights, and for me to be doing it now, trying to be a better sprinter, it's a whole new thing for me.
Struggling a little bit. That's why George Tucker said he's a
better weightlifter than me.
Yeah.
You think with him weightlifting, you think he would already be ahead of me, but my son is just not ready for it, unfortunately.
We'll see how he feels about that.
We'll see.
How long have you been running track for?
This is my 3rd year. I started as a freshman.
You liking it so far?
I love it a lot now.
What are some of the things you do to get ready for a race?
I don't really eat anything. I'll probably drink a protein shake, do a little toast. Usually I'm the one driving down there. I'll drive some of the runners down there. Like Jordan Taylor, he's always riding the back seat. Can't get him in the front seat. He don't act right. Bryson Hollis, and we just talk about what we gotta do for the events, like how fast we need to get off the blocks, what time do we need to come around the curve, what time do we need to be on the track stretching and signing in for our events. That's about it. There's not much you really can do other than maybe go out to the track, practice, for me at least, since I'm the only hurdler, practice my form, do like block starts and just some certain stretches.
What song do you listen to get you hyped before you race?
Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson.
What spikes do you use?
I use Nike Max Flies, but if I had to recommend with seeing college athletes, forgot the name of them, but it's by Adidas, and they seem to be the best brand for sprinting from now.
What are the difference between certain spikes?
Just the spikes themselves that you put in your shoes. Usually, you want to use the longer ones for distance. Don't understand why. It's just how I was taught by Coach Johnson and Still Joyner. And for sprinting, you want the spikes to be short.
What are some of the differences between cross country and track and field?
Cross country training itself is just a whole lot different. You're not running in a circle for one, and also you could just have random uphill. Like you don't have any uphill in track. You have just a whole different layout. Weather does play a big part in it. Usually you can run in the morning and afternoon. You could have complete shade and not have to deal with that heat. And you could have rained out mud. You could be slipping and sliding everywhere on cross country and track. You're just running circle.
Just the same circle over and over?
Some people have fun doing that. So, but compared to track, you're in cross country. You can run the 2 mile in cross country and track, but you're more than likely going to have a better 2 mile on your track because you're just going in a circle. You don't have to worry about no uphill, no downhill, no certain layout. It's just same thing over and over again.
Have you broken any records this year?
I have not.
And why is that?
It's because I guess early before me we had some top-notch athletes that were able to get records on this concrete track. But like I said, I'm going to get that 300-meter hurdle record, and it's going to stay that way for a minute.
Do you plan on going to college for track and field?
I do.
What college are you been looking at?
The college I've been in contact with the most as recently as Roberts Wilson up in New York. They're a Division II school with NCAA, and he showed a lot of interest in me, and he's been checking in after every meet, asking how to go. He was actually one of the 2 college coaches that was checking in after I pulled my leg, helping me out, giving me some stretches, some cool downs to do to help me out with it.
I know in school you're a track and field athlete, but outside school you're a lifeguard. Can you tell us where you lifeguard at?
During the wintertime and fall time, I lifeguard at the Aquadome. It's an indoor pool. And then during the summer, I lifeguard at Point Mallard.
If I go to Point Mallard this summer, I'm going to see you there?
Unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
About this being my third year of work, and it's not as fun as it used to be, but it's a good job.
When you go to be a lifeguard at Point Mallard, do you get a little frustrated when you see people from your school there?
No, not really. It's nice to see people from Lawrence County come out because I'm so used to seeing Austin, Decatur kids, Hartsville kids. So it'll be nice to see some familiar faces out there.
What's the process to becoming a lifeguard?
You have a 3-day course that we follow by the Red Cross that goes over how the stuff you got to do physically in a pool and outside the pool, such as getting CPR certification. You get licensed to put people on oxygen, just being sure you know how to approach certain situations.
You think I could be a lifeguard this summer?
You think? Do I think you could be a lifeguard this summer? It's not for everyone, Julian.
No. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on with us today.
You're welcome.
This has been another episode of Rambling with the Red Devils. Thank you for tuning in and catch new episodes on Friday. Go Big Red.